Hi, I'm Jamie Padilla Robinson, and this is my presentation for KPB220 Assessment 1. Take Me to Prom is a short documentary directed by Andrew Moore, released in 2019. The documentary features intimate, charming interviews with queer people ranging the age from 88 to 17. The documentary displays the challenges each participant experienced during the times of their own proms. Some didn't attend, while others made a political stand by attending. This presentation will identify what mode Take Me to Prom displays, how the documentary approaches the content, and how the filmmaker displays his individual style in this documentary. Nichols states that there are 6 different modes to categorize a documentary film. Depending how the documentary is created, edited, and how involved the filmmaker is, determines what mode for each documentary. As described by Natouche and Hawkins, expository mode desires to present information by the experts to the audience, with footage and images to support the spoken narrative. Often interviews are highly edited, filmed in a studio with stage lighting. Take Me to Prom presents characteristics that are signature to the expository mode. The documentary displays several generations of queer community members retelling their account of a traditionally heteronormative high school rite of passage, engaging the audience with their stories from their prom night and the challenges they faced. The interviews are highly edited, shot in a studio with stage lighting, and display photos and video footage of the time alongside the spoken narration. Take Me to Prom allows the narration to be the focal point of the sound, while the viewer is addressed directly. In this documentary, the interviewees are the experts, talking about their experience with their prom and the queerness in their respective decades. It is made clear that they are the experts by how each story is told in varied styles, touching on topics that are meaningful to the interviewee and not often led by the interviewer. During the individual interviews, the experts' tales are supported visually with decade-specific memorabilia, photos from their prom or teen years, and set design reflective of the decade being described. For example, in Alfonso's interview, the 1980s imagery is particularly evident. The set design surrounding him during his interview is a replica of the backdrop used in his actual prom, which is displayed through B-roll footage on a vintage 1980s style television set. These clues provide context to the time in which each segment takes place, using fashion trends, the quality of photos and footage, color schemes, set design, and props. These context clues allow a further connection between the audience and the narrator by the filmmaker, and are used instead of title cards in each segment. This is effective in placing the audience in the narrative along with the interviewee and immersing the viewer fully into the time period, allowing us to understand not only more fully the interviewee's experience, but the political climate for queer people in each decade. For example, the use of time-specific 1950s footage during Alf's interview is a stark reminder of the time in which he experienced his youth and the attitudes towards the queer community during those times. These characteristics displayed in Take Me to Prom are what classifies it as an expository documentary. Nichols states that in expository documentaries, B-roll is often used to assist the points being made. Take Me to Prom uses B-roll to help draw the audience into the narrator's prom night adventure. When presenting the B-roll, the filmmaker's style is particularly evident, as they are using panning shots of props and still photos in frames or of an iPhone. The use of the iPhone is effective in reminding us of the more modern setting of this story as compared to the interviews beforehand, and the advancements in gay rights that have occurred throughout each decade. For live footage, they present physical sets in studios with a television set from the appropriate decade. Most expository films will display B-roll footage raw without an entire studio set or the stylistic panning shots across props and photos displayed in this film. This is the individual style of the filmmaker and creates a unique view on expository documentaries. The documentary allows a voice for the members of the queer community during a heteronormative event through the decades. The members who fought against the system of oppression created pathways for equality in the future. Those who didn't were protecting themselves from a society that couldn't accept them. These personalized set designs connect the viewer with the narrator. The filmmaker has put an incredible effort into creating a vivid set design and matches the interviewee's prom night decade. This choice allows the expository mode to present extra information through props and imagery alongside the narration of the experts. The documentary uses editing, narrative, and set and sound design to engage the audience and relive the subject's stories as they tell them. Thank you so much.